Hey, my Go Tribe, I hope you guys are doing well, and I know you all have seen this story. And before I even start on this story, I need to state one thing. We need to bring back phones into the school system. I'm sorry. The amount of atrocities that happen when no one is observing, we need to bring back phones. Because how else are we going to correct our system when we don't have evidence of what is going on? And before we even speak about the children, we are still going to cover the teachers. Because I am sorry, the amount, just to reduce costs, the amount of bipolar teachers that our schools employ to educate your children is out of this world. Teachers are supposed to also follow a school curriculum, but they are too busy imposing their own personal, lack-minded beliefs upon your children, and nothing is being done and nothing is being said, all in the sake of trying to save money for the school. Now, let's get into this video. Let me just play it right back so you understand the graph. Whew. Jesus. If that was my child, if that was my child, my particular child, my baby, I will ruin all of you. From the school to the parents to the kids I will destroy you. Because you think it's easy to give birth to a child to now be put in a system where kids bully them because they feel they have the upper power? Hey God, it can never be my child. One thing every school, from primary school to secondary school, one thing they know about me is I don't joke with my baby. I will smile in your face, I'll do anything. But you see, when you allow one of your measly little kids come and do this to my child, I will mess you and your child up and the system up. Now, let's even speak about bullying. Bullying is an act that has been going on for centuries, and it is something that would not stop today. And unfortunately, this is exactly why they take out phones from school, because they are so worried about the reputation of the school that they do not want you with your video to expose the ill behaviors of the school. And this is why we must bring back phones. Bullies is a weak mindset. When you bully, it doesn't matter how big or successful your family is or all that. When you bully, I'm sorry, these boys should not just be expelled. These boys should go for juvenile detention. There should be some form of punishment for this behavior, because I don't understand how our system has adopted a culture of apology. Oh, I am sorry. I am sorry magically cancels every ill behavior that comes up, and it is unacceptable. And in this case, I'm sorry, I blame the parents, because we have a thing in our system now that if your parent is wealthy or successful, that means you are exempt from crimes like this. That means there is even the teachers cannot educate you as a student because they are too worried about your parents not funding the schools. Oh yes, it happens every single day in every single school. We have private schools acting like public schools now, all because there are certain parents who come there and fund the school. I'm sorry, when you look at bullies, you have to look at the families they come from. A lot of parents feel like because they have invested in your education, that is enough. You do not discipline your boy children. You allow them be, because you say, oh, they are future men. But if you don't teach them the right way to be and how to act, how are they ever supposed to grow into the men that we hope for in the future? Why do you think we have so much corrupt politicians today? Because nobody ever took the time to educate them, because they are men and boys. And if your family is successful, train your children, listen, this is our wealth. This is the family's wealth. You need to have discipline and integrity. You need to work to earn your rights in this place. Look at this. You mean to tell me an apology and an expulsion is the only thing that child is going to get, when you would indirectly create more psychological damage, and who knows what injuries that boy has obtained internally, and you're going to set him free because, oh, let's not mess with the school or the parents? When it comes to bullies, I do not tolerate it, because guess what? A whole Goldie like me, I was one of the most bullied children in school. In secondary school, hey God, they beat the crap out of me in secondary school. And you know why? For one, they were offended that I had light skin. They always said, oh, you think you're special because you have curly hair and you have light skin. There was a moment I remember. They told me my sister was calling me in the hostel because she was in boarding school. And as I walked towards the entrance of the hostel, I realized something was off. It was just too quiet. And And instead of me to turn back, I really wanted to know what my sister was up to. So I walked in there, and oh my God, the second I stepped in, they pounced on me. Oh, they told me a new one. For weeks I was in pain. But guess what? They don't play with my daddy, because my daddy got everybody expelled. Like, we don't play those kind of games there. Or every time they'll bully me for my talk shop money, I would stay hungry for days. And the day I refused to give them my money, I got whooped all the time. Back then, we didn't have phones, but the things they did in school, I almost got poured acid once by my own friends because they just did not like the way I looked. There was a particular girl, and I'll never forget this story. We had these huge hills, these slopes that went down. The seniors put this girl in a suitcase. She was very slim and very petite. They put her in a suitcase, zipped it up, and rolled her down the hill. And you don't even know the bones that broke that day, And the only thing they gave these monsters was an expulsion. No, they need juvenile detention. I'm sorry. We need to create a system that works. We need to start educating our children so that when they go to schools, they behave like human beings and not like animals, like barbarians, because this is what is going on in schools. And let's quickly speak about the schools themselves. When you look at the system in Europe, every single school, every single year, they do a psychological test for all the teachers. They go through a series of training every single year just to make sure, okay, maybe a teacher was great before, but maybe now they're not mentally ready for what is expected of them. They check them. But in Nigeria, even the private schools that you spend so many millions on, they don't do this. In order to save costs, they employ the most barbaric teachers, all in the name of, oh, we are saving costs. And they always look so amazing when you look at their official offices and everything. But you should watch the way these teachers act in school. I remember one time I had to fight in my daughter's primary school because the lady came into the school and just started punishing all of them and flogged my daughter on her back. She came home with swollen back, and I'm like, yo, honey, if you lay hands on my child again, I will beat the dog shit out of you. And for the rest of the school year, that teacher knew exactly who I was. I wasn't playing with mans. I didn't go through the process of child labor for that to happen. Look at this other girl's legs. See how brutally she was beaten by the school, and they still refuse to allow this child go home with her mother for treatment. I want to see who will stop me from taking my child out of that school. I want to see. That doesn't even exist. You parents are playing with the lives of your children when you allow the system control your actions. Look at this girl's legs. It's been a long time I've been wanting to speak about the school system. All these teachers that I employed that don't even have the basic knowledge for education, and they love imposing their own personal beliefs on children. Follow the goddamn curriculum, for the love of God. We need to sanitize our whole system. I'm sorry. Now we have leaders who are ill-behaved, and where do you think it starts from? From schools. And schools need to start treating every child the same way. I'm sorry, we both pay the same school fees. I do not care if other parents are funding your system. My child is going to be respected. And you guys, sometimes I wonder, when you see situations like this, a lot of parents are so calm, and because they don't want to offend the school. That's your child, That's your child. You can't stay quiet when it comes to situations like this. You need to actually look into what the school is educating your children and see if it's even up to the standard level of education. But you stay silent. You stay quiet because, especially if it's a prestigious school, nobody's talking. All I'm going to say is bring back phones. We need to see exactly what goes on into the system. And I know a lot of people, phones are distracting in school. See, what goes on in schools is more distracting than the phones itself. Parents need to start re-educating their children of how they should be perfect individuals in public. Because I'm sorry, if you don't train them, the system will train them. Get to know your children, because I'm telling you, I wanted to speak about this the other day. The things that happen on apps like Snapchat, for example, honey, you guys don't even know. You have your 12, 11-year-old children acting all innocent, but what they do, hey, God have mercy. Sometimes my head is paining me of things I hear around. All I'm going to say is that those children You stomped on someone's head and you just get an expulsion. It can't be that easy. And half of them are going to go into other schools, and the schools are just going to accept them without even looking into their background. We have school children that make transfers every single year, and nobody's checking their backgrounds, and they end up being bullies in other schools, but we stay silent. I say when we clean our system, we have to clean it from top to bottom. From our educational system to the way they act at home, we have to clean everything. Everyone, please check yourselves.